I'm going to do my best in this video to be neutral and not too negative, because I have been pretty intense with my energy, and I'll tell you this right now, I hold back so fucking much on social media, just in general. I hold back my neutrality, my sadness, my happiness, my excitement, my anger, and it's just something that some of us feel the need to do, and it's not even necessarily masking, it's just we're a lot. But I don't want to contribute to more stress on your social media time. Being angry is valid right now. Knowing that our world is ran by pedophiles, that we are being censored chronically. The state of the world does not seem very good, does it? But we also can't just be doom scrolling and doom and gloom and hoping something bad will happen so we can go get some. Like, we really need to step into our power. We really need to start evaluating our own lives and what the fuck we want to do with them, where we want to go. So many of you are so beautifully creative and intelligent, and you have goals and dreams, and you feel robbed, and you take blame for that. I feel that energy so much, where people are like, oh, I'm not where I want to be. You don't want to be where these fucking people are. Like, fame does not matter. This false sense of power is so fucking stupid. Like, it doesn't matter. Who are we trying to impress? Right now, we get to play. Right now, you get to heal. Right now, you get to play, and you get to test out your own power. Like, you can get through this and not chase anything. Like, you have to remember to command the things that you want to attract. And it's easier said than done, but you have to practice at it by becoming that person, on the external. I'm not saying chasing a fantasy, but fantasy is not always bad. Fantasy is bad if there's no growth, if you feel fucking high off of the energy, if you feel depressed when you disconnect from whatever's going on in your daydreams. But, like, honestly, fantasy, if it's in terms of you and goals and making movies in your head or being very cinematic about your life, like, that's fine, as long as you're grounding, as long as you're real about it, as long as you're okay with your faults and your flaws, you will be fine. And that's how we clear our minds, that's how we clear our paradigm, and that's how we get through this shit. Because right now people feel suffocated, and I'm not sinking. I don't care what the fuck happens in this world, like, in terms of my life. I'm going to go out with a bang, and I'm going to be honorable for myself without needing to prove it to the collective, without needing to prove it to anything, without needing to even be performative about it. I am just rebelliously sick and tired of being told what to do by a bunch of fucking pedophiles who have no fortitude, they have no personal power, they're cowards, and they're nerds and losers, and we have to stop calling them elite, because they're not. Like literally, they have just created a ton of layers and loopholes in order to get into that position so people can envy them and be angry at them and glorify them and glaze them, and it's just giving energy. And I am in a season in my life where I am like, fuck you. I'm not even going to give you my energy. I'm going to be objective as possible, because what is going on in this world is disgusting. I think the Epstein files, there's a lot of truth to them. And I also think it's a fucking psyop, because the government does not need to release anything unless they want to. They just give you the illusion that we have to, the CIA has to release these classified documents. Like, they choose to. And that doesn't mean that they're true either. Like, we have to get past this point where we're trusting the same entities that keep fucking everybody over, or we turn a deaf ear and trust them because they'll do the job that I'm supposed to be doing for my own sovereignty. And that's, I think, what frustrates me when I allow myself to feel emotional, toward the collective, is we really become cowardly. And we become self-centered in the wrong ways. I'm not here to tell you to change your life and to have a bleeding heart and to do all this. It's not going to do anything besides make you feel better about having a bleeding heart. Like, selective outrage already does that enough. All this faux rage on social media, like, nobody fucking cares. Like, and honestly, I made a few videos about this on TikTok. Nobody fucking cares, because if we did, we would stop paying our bills, we would stop paying rent, we would get a bit uncomfortable. We don't deserve that. But we would stop. We would halt the system for like a good solid month. Like, imagine if that would happen. And if that's illegal for me to say, then fuck me. But people want people like myself and like a lot of you to take those stray bullets and fight the good fight, Luigi. And yay, he took one for the team, but they're sitting there spectating. And you're wanting people to get blood on their hands or on their spirit. That can be metaphoric or not. while you still reap the benefits, but then get mad when it's not happening. And respectfully, we have to fucking start healing our shadow in order to get to this point. We don't need to go and do all kinds of heinous shit right now, but I think that we need to collapse the system. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that there will be illusions of it. I think that there will be manufactured, protests and manufactured, we're going to stop working, and it's all part of their business model. Like, I wish people who are not pattern recognizers could see that and get objective and question literally everything. Stop thinking that these motherfuckers with charisma give a shit, because they never changed anything. Not a single president did anything sustainable enough. There's teaspoons of sugar. The left will get their way for a bit and it'll piss off the right, and then the right will get their way for a bit and it'll piss off the left, and they go through this big cycle of this president's fucking up the country, while there are entities behind these actors who have the actual power that like playing the collective. And we look at history and we keep seeing the same thing. We are all livestock. We keep saying the same thing as witches. We have been demonized for a reason, because we know the code. We know how to access our power. I know how to attract money because I stopped stressing off of shit. It's a fucking game. It's a cycle. It's psychological and spiritual warfare. When they raise the prices of your rent, they raise the prices of like the electricity here. Like, my power bill is almost $4,000 per quarter, yet we use a significant amount less than we ever did. And we have all LED and smart appliances, and we're like outside, especially during summer. I don't even run the dryer. Like, there's a lot of, I see the numbers. And I'm telling you, like, that can bother you. It'll chip away at you. But it's like, these fuckers at the top, they stay in debt and they pay the bare minimum to avoid taxes. Do the same thing. Collapse this shit. Stop giving it your energy, at least. You can't change it right now. Having that debt to a bunch of oligarchs, that's not worth your energy. I'm not saying don't pay your bills or be responsible. I'm saying fuck this extortion already, and say no, and protest in ways that are actually functional. Like, manufactured protests are just business models. It's the ink industry, which these oligarchs own, make a fuck ton of money. It's a distraction so they can go and dick around and do other things behind the scenes, and you think, wow, we're making a big change. Like, yeah, do what you feel is right if you feel like actual change is going to be made, but like, most of it is just manufactured. And I hate seeing the energy leakage in that. Like, I won't go and protest. You have every right to. I protest with my dollar. I protest with my lifestyle. I protest by speaking the fuck up and knowing that if somebody came to my house and tried to take my kids away, it's not gonna look good. Somebody's going to prison and somebody's going to hell, and I don't give a fuck. If that's illegal for me to say, that's disgusting. That it is illegal, and there's dire consequences because I want to protect my children in a world that's ran by pedophiles that will not get prosecuted. And if any of them do, it's just going to be set up. Like, that Justine Maxwell bitch, she's not in prison. She's in a fucking penthouse on your tax dollar with yoga classes and 5-star meals. Oh, the rest of us livestock, though. We get pinned against each other in the penitentiary system that is manufactured and a privatized business, thank you very much, including the real estate to it, and it's tax funded and privately profited. They purposely make it horrific in there and completely divided, and make it impossible for you. Like, if a lot of you are warriors, if you were to get locked up, and a lot of you have been locked up, I've never been into prison, but I can tell you this: I'm not going to sit there and fucking comply with a bunch of idiots that protect pedophiles. I'm not going to comply with this shit. I'm not going to silence myself. If I were to get locked up because I'm speaking up for my sovereignty and for the sovereignty of my precious children, then I will gladly go to prison. And most people won't do that. And they'll say, yeah, she's doing the good thing, hooray, on the sidelines. And the thing is, it's like, you guys need to not have that mentality completely, but like, for your own sovereignty, have somewhat of that mentality. And if there's not a big fight for you, that's fine too. Kick back. Because a lot of you are tired. Trust me, I'm tired too, but I'm also fucking antsy. I'm sick of this shit. I have seen the country that I live in, which is Australia. I'm Californian, a lot of you know. Turn to shit. It's turning into AmeriCorp, and I hate that. So what I've been focusing on for the past couple of years, just being chokeholded by this country for a lot of reasons I'm not here to unpack. I have worked on my paradigm and slowly unpeeled all of these blockages, all of this self-doubt, all of this, the world is terrible, I'm not going to be able to make any money online, oh, social media it's all rigged, oh, all the, yeah, no shit. And I'm not going to sit here and plug a bunch of services and push and make just junky content. Maybe you think my content's junky, that's totally fine, but I do the best that I can with what I have, with ideas of what I would like to do, without caring about numbers or caring about how much money I'm going to make. It's because I just want to be creative, and I just want to at least hear my own voice before I kick the bucket. And if the only people that see these videos are a couple hundred to a few thousand, that's fine with me, because I still get paid, because my magic works, because I am arrogantly confident in myself, and I don't need to wear other people down in order to parade or showboat. I am unapologetic for my life and for my lifestyle, and I actually had to feel that way, not just practice it in motion guarded, because a lot of you know what it's like. A lot of you who are gay know what that's like. A lot of you who, if you're a Satanist, most likely you're going to know what that's like. I've personally never been demonized for my spiritual practice or witchcraft. I literally just have it fucking made when it comes to that. I've always connected. I was raised around witchcraft, and when it comes to Satanists and pagans, I've been around them my entire life, and I've always crossed paths with, I don't want to say our own, because I don't like that sense of like, oh, we're in this little clique, because you guys are individuals. But you know what I mean. But a lot of people, you still get demonized. You know, like if I were to speak out against the system and something were to happen, I can guarantee the first thing that would be mentioned is my spiritual alliance. That would be weaponized, and it would be a fucking buzzword. And that's a problem. Like, it's so disgusting to me, because we're in this system where like religion is trying so hard to chokehold the collective. And I feel like we're back to square one, almost like in antiquity. Like, it really feels like that to me, you guys. And it does not need to feel like that to you, but I feel like we're still in the same war as we were in antiquity, and it's not like almost 4,000 years apart. Like, it feels like it's all like this simultaneous present. I don't understand how to explain it, because I really feel like things are bleeding. There's like a bleed through. There's a lot of bleed through, and there's a lot of parallels compared to studying the occult and things in antiquity in comparison to what's going on globally right now. And it just seems like the same systems are still chokeholding the collective, and it's kind of frustrating, because there's nothing you can do about it. So sitting there and stressing and worrying and caring so much, you're not going to lose your moral compass or your empathy just because you focus on your life, because you're not going to do any good by just stressing yourself to a heart attack. You're not going to do any good by carrying all of this weight and this guilt because you didn't make it to this goal. Like, who the fuck cares, you guys? Fuck all these people. Who are we trying to impress? You should just be grateful for your life. And that sounds very hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, and I mean no disrespect, but this is our arena. Like, everything right in front of me in my office, this is my fucking arena. I get to do whatever the fuck I want, and I get to see it how I want to. I get to play, I get to do all these cool things, and I get to just be Garfield and relax too if I want to. And you shouldn't feel guilty about rest, because I feel like there's a lot of energy leak and people are siphoned. And you have to understand, as an energy worker, you have to understand, as a witch, as an occultist, that's what's going on. So when you're sitting there on your fucking sorcery black mirror, because it is, and I mean that in a good way, you're leaking your energy. You shouldn't feel drained. Like, I legit, my Aquarius disconnected ass legit learned not too long ago that people get very emotional over comments. Like, they get hella mad. Because I'll beef with anybody, and it's fucking, you know, whatever, stupid bitch, no, but, like, people get, like, actually hella mad, and, like, they say they're shaking, and they like to argue on purpose, and then they fucking do it. They just don't admit that they're wrong. Like, I saw a conversation about this where people were like, I purposely will just invalidate somebody even if they're right, because it just fucking makes me feel high. And I'm just like, you stupid fucks, you are programmed. Like, hello? Like, how are you not seeing that part? You probably do that in your everyday life, and that's why nobody makes shift. That's why there's no shift. That's why there's no change or expansion, because everybody's been programmed to deflect and to defend themselves no matter how wrong they are. I've been there to an extent. My thing was, it's like, well, you abused me more, so this is what, you know, that kind of shit. But, like, I'm talking about people who genuinely do not care if they're wrong. They're going to just say that you're wrong anyways. Like, honestly, if I were to give you some advice, like witchcraft, do some psychic cleansing. All right, do some aura cleansing. I like to use cedar resin for that, and I'll soak it in water and I'll just kind of anoint myself. You can use pink Himalayan salt as well. Wash your hands with it. Wash your face if you don't have like irritation or sensitivities. But honestly, clear yourself psychically, because you are pouring too much out and you're sucking way too much in. Like, social media should not be this chaotic. And once upon a time, for us millennials and older millennials, it used to be hella fun. Even before social media, the internet used to be so fucking fun. And now it's just noisy, and it's really hard because I like to try to find these creative people. You know, I like to tell people who tell me, oh, you can be viral, you can do this. I tell them I like being in the dark pockets on the internet. I don't give a fuck about this shit. I get paid as if I had 1 million subscribers, which isn't a flex these days, because somebody with 1 million subscribers can't even quit their full-time job on any platform. But I get to not have the tedium of that. I don't have to deal with the tedium of popularity. It's fucking great. I pulled the High Priestess again. I just pulled this on my Instagram stories, but I really feel like we have to connect with our higher selves and let ourselves guide us, so we can start deprogramming and attracting prosperity and attracting better health, and like be a little delusional about it, like you're a fucking witch. And I think that there is a spectrum of witches who have become so not even grounded in a healthy way, but grounding has a toxic side of its spectrum, to where everything needs to be very realistic and everything needs to be, that's not realistic. Like, I get told that, you know, on TikTok, on Kitchen Occultist, like, your lifestyle is not realistic. Bitch, I'm not trying to sell you anything. My lifestyle is mine, and I am very fucking grateful. I don't gotta go to work. I don't have to be in traffic. I live in a quiet country. I have a 1/4 acre all to myself, and I don't have to answer to a single fucking person, other than my kids, of course. And it feels great. And I am just going to continue to build. I love to garden. I love to do all my hobbies. I love witchcraft. I am a demonologist every single day of my life because I feel aligned with it. I don't feel like it's a tedious ceremonial weight, like, oh, I gotta give his offerings. Like, I literally thrive with my demon, and I'm okay doing my own thing. And if anything, he gets very clingy, and I live a very peaceful life. And I also have heartache. I also had broken heart syndrome. I was diagnosed with that in the past. I also am very lonely, and miss having friends and family at times, and wish that I can have that for my younger kids, because they're not going to be able to experience that like my adult kids did. And I live my life, and people will get mad, like, oh, your lifestyle, that's not realistic. I'm like, well, sweetheart, I was delusional, and now I get to live it, and I keep attracting, and I don't have to worry, and I don't have to be arrogant, but like, I demand I demand that things work out in my favor. Even though the journey might not be exactly how I want it to be, I know I'm going to counter those storms. I am going to just ride those fucking waves. That's what you do. You don't worry, oh, there's a tsunami coming. What do I do? Do I piss my pants? It's like, no, bitch, fucking surf that shit. Fuck it. Rebuild. Move. You're going to be fine. So, High Priestess, let your higher self guide you, because everybody's afraid, and I'm trying to be sympathetic for that. And it's hard for me because I forgot what it's like to feel helpless, and I need to stay grounded. But some of these bitches are so fucking grounded, I don't even know what the point is in being a witch. Like, do you believe or not? You don't have to be so delusional that you think that, oh, if I jump off a building, I'll fly. You know, like, that's psychosis. That you need medical attention. That you need a fucking head doctor, and that's okay. And, oh, no, don't be making jokes. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to. We got to this point where everybody's so sensitive, and everybody's not even grounded, but like stuck in the mud, that we forgot how powerful we are. And that frustrates me as a witch. That frustrates me as a cosmic woman who is having a human experience that feels just temporarily stuck on this busted ass planet. But I also love it a lot because I get to do all of these fun things, and I get to manifest. Like, literally, I manifest really well. Anytime I think, oh, I would really want something, like even this huge ass desk when I first started this podcast, and I just like dragged my ass to get one video out. You guys have no fucking idea. But like, I manifested this within 24 hours. And somebody sold it to me for less than $100, and I was like, holy shit, this is exactly what I wanted, an oversized boss ass bitch desk, and I love it. And but if you sit and think, oh man, it's going to be $2,000, and I don't have the money for that, but don't. Just go and figure out what you want and then just forget it and be like, oh yeah, like literally brainwash yourself. It's on its way. Somebody will give you something. You'll find a really good deal. You'll find something will happen. That's how my life operates, and I don't cling onto it. I don't believe in clinging onto hope, and that is like energetic leakage, and it creates like this tether that blocks you. It's like a leash. It holds you in place. Oh, I hope I can get this desk. You're just leaking your energy out. You're just like, oh, I'm going to get I got a desk. I'm going to get a desk. And you're just like, I got it. And I don't have to worry about it. Because when you get it, you'd be excited for a bit. And then you kind of carry on. And sometimes we forget that when we're traumatized and we're overworked in this system. And we're seeing all this fucking turmoil and this news and war and pedophilia. And Hollywood is just a cesspool, and you have to see it as that. Like, you're not a loser because you didn't make it. Like, these people who are, most of them are products of nepotism anyways, or what people mean by selling their souls. It's not about, oh, contracting with the devil. It's contracting your fucking sovereignty, staying quiet, changing your fucking moral compass and your views, and supporting a political alliance that you don't support when you know shady shit's going on, and going, oh yeah guys, support this, and not caring because you're making a bunch of money but knowing you're a fucking coward. That's what selling your soul means, and that's not us. You don't need to worry about this shit. You've already outclassed these people. They're all bitches. Don't worry about it. You're not a failure. And when we remember that, and we don't do this classism thing, we don't call them elites. They're not elites. They think they're fucking better than you because they inherited money 3,000 years ago. They think they're better than you because they're products of nepotism, and people just gassed up their fucking dumbass brains to thinking, I'm better because I was in Time Magazine, another manufactured business model that my handlers own. Like, it's all a goddamn stage. And when you realize that, you're like, give it a big fuck you, stop supporting this shit slowly, and make your own. Make your own movies, make your own art. Fuck this shit. Start supporting smaller artists. And I'm okay, like, support what you like. Even with AI stuff, like, I'm in the gray area about that. I'm not going to tell people what to do, but be aware of what you're doing and what you're contributing to. And when it comes to attracting for yourself, be fucking nonchalant. Like, you be the goddamn high priest or the high priestess. You already have this shit. Like, I'm going to tell you guys, as somebody who chronically astral travels, and I'm at this point with my astral experiences where I can make arenas. You can make scenarios. My demons do that too sometimes. When you go through some weird thing, they will create those atmospheres because that's what we do. It's slowed down and condensed here on Earth. But like, I have everything I want in the astral. When I kick the bucket, we have astral temples. I travel. Like, I don't care if people don't believe me. I don't give a fuck. But I know what I know. I know what I see. I know what I'm able to smell and taste and feel now because I've worked on those senses while I'm doing my home traveling, as me and my demon call it, because I feel actually more at home there than I do here. Like, I feel out of place. But you have to remember, you are an honorary guest on this fucking planet, and you don't owe anybody anything. You get to just have fun and do your own thing and build, and not focus and cling on to the hope of the goal working out. It'll happen. Shit will happen, and it'll be in left field. Like, your magic works. You have to remember that it works. And I get really frustrated when I see witches who, not even because they don't like me, I don't fucking care. I'm mad that they don't like themselves and mad that they forgot how powerful they are. And I'm like, you silly fucking bitches, we're supposed to be semi-delusional. You're supposed to be. That's how it works. I brainwash myself. And then because I did my shadow work, I don't need validation, so I don't need to like piss on somebody else's fire hydrant, like, oh, my balls are bigger than yours, bitch. Like, I don't need to do that. I don't see it like that. I don't compete. I don't compare. I don't care. I'm happy that you're having a good time. I don't need to do that because it's just energy leak when you go, oh, look at that piece of shit. Stop being a hater and go work on your own shit. And guess what? You won't be worried about that dickhead who has more, because he has more because he's so stupid and delusional. He attracted it, you know? So you're bitter because we have terrible things that happen to us as human beings. I tell my adult kids this. So for those of you who kind of like self-wallow about, oh, that motherfucker's got it better than me, he doesn't understand. You know, because people get hella bitter when they see some idiot having more, right? Like, we kind of all have been there. But like, this is what I tell my adult kids. Some of us have been torpedoed straight into the bonfire at birth. And that's terrible. But on the flip side, we have some street smarts. We have that forge, right? We have that scar tissue. We have that callus. And I tell my kids, because my kids hella grew up different. They've had their hardships, but they hella grew up different than me. I tell them, your curse is you have to kindle that fucking fire under your own ass. Because they do their disciplines in martial arts and stuff like that, and the older they get, the harder it's getting, and the more, you know, they struggle. I'm allowed to talk about this, and I'm grateful. I reassure them. I go, I know what it's like to procrastinate. I know what it's like to stop doing, like, I stopped doing Muay Thai for like a year, and I wasn't happy with myself, and I would just completely tell my kids so it can help them feel reassured, like, yeah, it happens. I've put the guitar down for a couple years. Out of 25 years I've played, I put it down twice for a few years span, and then you feel guilty, like, oh, I should have. It's like, it's always going to be there, but you have to go and put that fire under your ass and go pick it up again. You know, and you have seasons in your life, and a lot of times what happens is those of us who were born straight into the fire, we see the other people who don't kindle it under their own asses. They're just living in oh, look at me, I'm having a great time. And you're like, you asshole. You know, but the thing is unfortunately for that person, when life actually hits and they deal with death or divorce or despair or humiliation, whatever, or injury or illness, they're going to not have the same tools. And you don't even need to worry about that. Like, the thing is like, you don't even need a trip. It's none of your fucking business. There's plenty on this earth for everybody to have abundance. And if you don't want a lot, that's fine. I like having a lot of space, and I'm happy talking about the things. A lot of people get scared, spooktacular. Oh, don't say all of your manifestations. No, I want to get the fuck off of grid. And I'm like, more and more inching my way there. You know, I have more space than I ever did. I am more disconnected from like everyday society more than I ever did, and I kind of want to do it a bit more. And there's pros and cons to that, but like, I have kids that I need to protect. I have my own sanctuary that in my temple. My whole property is my temple. It's consecrated. I don't want to be a part of this noise or the system. I'm out. I'd rather live in the outback with the cannibals and the fucking roided ass kangaroos. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'd rather live, because out west, you guys, there are cannibals here in Australia, and it's no man's land. I'd rather, without sensationalizing it, deal with that shit than fucking be dictated by cannibals and pedophiles and told what to do every single moment of my life, every single little thing. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to comply, you have to act this way, you have to buy this, you have to not buy that, you have to not say this. I can't fucking, it's not in my DNA. So it's just not going to happen. And I have to get out of this shit, because I really feel like it's going to get a lot worse, and I like my lifestyle, and it's very unconventional and very unrealistic for people. And I'm okay with that, because we're not supposed to all have similar lifestyles. That's what these assholes at the top want us. These losers want us all to just be uniform and compliant. That's why a lot of you guys who are very oddballs and vast and eccentric, you might have had a hard time with people who couldn't do it. They were hating. Because you were free with yourself, you were free with your body, you were free with your mind, you were free with your spirituality and your art or whatever it is. And these people were like, no, you need to come back over here and just shh. It's like, bitch, sorry. I will flip the whole fucking table over and then I'll dance on it. You know, like, I'm not going to fucking do this shit. And that is part of evolution, I think. I think that we are in a pivotal point in evolution where we're going to see a lot of people devolving, and we see it. People are getting fucking retarded, and we see other people waking up, taking better care of themselves, and that can just be like, hey, I have a problem. I have an addiction. I have self-esteem issues. I have a bitter ass, busted ass attitude. It's just self-awareness and accountability. That's all we have to do. I think the way that we get out of this shit and we master ourselves while this shit is just tumbling down and cracking open, because the world's exposing its ass and it sucks. It's a harsh reality, is we need to be real with ourselves and remember how fucking powerful we are. Because I'm telling you guys, I attract shit all the time. I don't worry about shit, because also, if everything crumbles and catches a flame, I'm not going to trip on it. I'm not going to be avoidant, but I'll get through it. I can get through anything. I've gone through. You can. You've gone through so fucking much. You're tired and you forget. I still got through that shit. I still walked through that fire. And I am here right now, and hopefully you're comfortable. Hopefully you have a nice house. Hopefully you have food and extras, and you're fucking content. Your contentment doesn't need to look like mine. My contentment is a lot because I have skill sets. I have a handful of skill sets that dictate my life because I'm so passionate and I love learning, and I want to attract more resources so I can just do all the things that I want to do. And then if I kick the bucket tomorrow, hey man, I fucking made it this far. What a ride. So don't forget that. You didn't have a boring life. You took risks, and that even includes admitting that you didn't take risks. Like, that's risky shit. Most people in this system won't do it. They can't do it. You tried something, you might not have stuck to it, but you tried. And it's okay. You don't need to gauge this stuff. I think that we're going to see a lot of people. Listen, I think the next 5 years are going to be fucked. Okay? I think that we are absolutely headed for a depression. We are going to be at the peak of global war, and they're going to continue to just thread this out through the news, through social media. It's an infestation, isn't it? These parasites take over everything. We can't even have a hobby. They're in our hobbies. You know, and for witchcraft and occultism, it's a little different because this is political. And witchcraft is political, and occult systems is political, and occult systems are used by politicians, and we get demonized. Those of us who use it to just expand and to heal from trauma and to just attract the things that we want. We want love, we want health, we want money. Like, that's not a fucking bad thing. But people who aren't in their own power and they go and they run and grovel to their god, or they're just bitter and don't do anything, they're not going to want you to succeed. But I think we're going to see a really interesting paradox of people that are doing very well, wealthy without the system's dictation, without contracting your fucking words. I will never sign an NDA or a contract for shit. Fuck that shit. I'm never going to allow anybody to. That's taking your voice. That's taking your power. Your voice, your words are so powerful. I won't do it. I will do everything I possibly can to stay grounded and continue to level up and expand. And I genuinely think that those of you, I can feel your energy. A lot of you are getting antsy. You're like, fuck man, I gotta go. I gotta pull the trigger here because I can't take this anymore. Take that as a sign from your higher self to make some movement. Make small movement. Clean a fucking drawer. It's energetic unblocking. Okay, it does. Try it out. For those of you who might struggle with cleaning or struggle with self-esteem and you don't like dressing up or something, do something different this week. Even one thing. Even putting on something nice if you feel unworthy. Even cleaning a drawer. And see how your paradigm shifts. You just unblocked a blockage. That is like an abre camino. That is like a road opener in itself. I'm so dead ass. I do it all the time. And you get to dictate. That's chaos magic too. It's energy, because I read energy really well. But it's helpful. You can't just be so grounded in the mundane that you're just like, I see, you know what I see? Every time I do dishes, I get fucking paid. I have my transmutation money bowl. Every time somebody's an asshole or bitter toward me, I get fucking paid. I get paid, bitch. I don't even trip. And some asshole can go, I'm going to counter that with my edgelord magic. Keep trying. Everything I give you, I've got other systems in place. I'm not stupid. I give you the fucking blueprint for a reason. And you have to be like that. You get to that point, not because, moo-ha, I'm so clever. It's like you're clear-minded, so you have capacity to think like that. And when you think like that, you put that shit on the back burner, you manage it like a boss, and then you go about your business and you continue to expand, and then you be objective about this world, you be understanding about what's going on and the reality of all this fucked up, twisted shit. But sitting there screaming and having a bleeding heart on social media, it's not going to help us. That's all that's doing is an echo chamber. We're all aware of how sick it is. You can't convince other people to be uncomfortable. Because most people, I said this on TikTok, most people are not going to make the changes that are needed in order to really drop the system to its knees. I would love that in a motherfucking heartbeat. That is like a dream. But it's not going to happen. That's the reality. People would riot more over GTA 6 not releasing than they would over the Epstein files. But I think that if we work on our paradigm, we're going to see some changes. You're going to see miracles happening in your life because you're putting in the mental work, you're decluttering. That's all it is. This system fed you a bunch of junk, mental junk, emotional junk, physical junk, everything's fucking junk. And you're clogged up and cluttered. And there's no shame in that. So just unclear it and thrive in this shit. We're not going to survive anything. We're all going to die. And death is, we're going to open our eyes and be back home, wherever that is for you. I think there's like a plethora of endings for people or continuations. I just have astral traveled so fucking much that I can't, and I've heard people's stories that I can't not think that way. Even if it's all in my own imagination in my mind, well, obviously there's something. Obviously it works, so that's fine. And then worst case scenario, lights are out. Okay, I don't believe that though. But that's okay if you do. Maybe that's true for you if you believe that. But I think that our goal here should be mastering ourselves while the world falls apart and transmutate that shit. Okay, where is my... Hold on. Use one of these. Hold on, I'm trying to. Use one of these guys. A black cube. This is obsidian. This is a temporary vessel for energy that's intaked because obsidian will kind of collapse. I've had a lot of experiences with that. I use obsidian pretty heavily in my witchcraft. It's one of my favorite stones to work with. I like to use my black cubes, my Saturn, my evil magic. It's like these assholes told everybody it's demonic and evil when in reality it's just the blueprint to the human experience. Fucking use it. Transmutate all of this turmoil. Curse these assholes collectively. You might not be able to death curse them and take all of their energy and now you're very powerful. You gotta understand they have hoarded energy. You can take your own back. All of the output that you put into this system, all of the trauma that you had to endure, all of the stress, take it fucking back and transmutate it into your wealth, into your health and confidence, and you will be unstoppable in your life. I genuinely believe that because like my life just continues to get better and there are there are heartaches and difficult things too. I'm not like euphoric and I'm not trying to chase that. I don't try to chase the high. I'm actually very steady with everything, and when shit happens I just communicate with my demons and I'm just like, this is so fucking cool. It's like playing a video game almost, and it's not always going to be fun, but it doesn't need to crush you. It does not need to crush you, and it's easier said than done. You just have to get through that weight. And the first thing that I want you guys to do is to rest without guilt. I've been talking about this on short format content, but you have to rest without guilt. I had to rest for a year. You know who made me rest. And no matter what I did, I would always get slightly injured, or something would happen, or if I started making movement, something would happen to where I didn't have access to something, and I just listened. I like literally for over a year, I took it really easy, and I ended up doing more and getting more accomplished and attracting more by continuing to allow myself to rest without guilt. And it took me a while because I was like, I'm a mom, I'm like, I got shit to do, I got goals, I'm stuck in a foreign country on no income, I gotta fucking keep doing this, I got herbalism, the world's gonna end, I got a garden, it was like all of that sort of stuff. And I stopped and I ended up letting the garden rest, and it ended up giving me more in return. I ended up letting my financial stress rest, and I ended up becoming very prosperous. I ended up healing a lot of my body because even though I feel really good, my joints take a beating. I train, and my it's not so much my knees, but my shoulders and my arms and my hands take a beating the most. My hips do, but I stopped kicking for a year. But I had to really rest my body, and I started to nourish it more with bone broth and lots. I take fish oil for your joints, guys, if you can handle it. I've been taking fish oil for like 10 years and I have really great joints, but I have a disabled child and I gotta I tell my older kids, like me and my autistic son, he's a big boy and sometimes he'll fight back. I tell all the kids I'm like fucking It Man with my wooden dummy, like just trying to handle him, so I have to keep very strong and my arms will get blown out. He blew my shoulders out a few times. And I have hobbies that really are shoulder heavy. So I had to really rest my body, and I repaired, and I listened to Hertz frequencies too. You listen to Hertz frequencies about like DNA repair, body repair, metabolism, do all of those things. That's like easy self-care. And I'm telling you, very slowly, this shit starts to recalibrate, and one day you just feel like you woke up from like your past life. That's what I've been going through. Like, I've been merging with like past life aspects of myself, and I'm like, I feel fucking like I just woke up from a big ass dream. And holy shit, it doesn't even feel like an accomplishment. It doesn't feel like, oh yeah, look at me. That's ego being fed junk food. When people like, oh yes, yeah, I got money and I got a big old penis. It's like, who cares? And do you have a spine? Do you have a fucking brain that's functional? Like, do you have a heart? Those are the things that matter here. But you feel like you just woke up, and I still feel like I'm waking up. It's crazy. I'm like, holy shit, I see the world completely different. I know that this is like mystic, and that out there in the outbounds of the universe and in the universe, it's all chaotic too, you guys. The universe is so fucking dysfunctional. That's like the norm. This is very special, and you wake up and you feel like you're your higher self here, and that's why the high priestess card, I was tying that in. Try to exercise that. Don't feel like you have to be performative. Just, it shouldn't feel fake. It shouldn't feel, I don't know how to explain it. It should just feel like alignment without like just being like thumb sucking comfortable. It should just feel like normal. And the more that you exercise he or her, you'll start to really like crave the things. And you know, you see yourself in this really cool, like animated, awesome, badass version of yourself. You'll start to become that. You'll start to think, oh, this is why I'm very into this thing, or this is why I like to dress this way. And you'll start expanding and feeding off of that and having fun and just really enjoying the human experience. And when you're enjoying it, you'll be able to still hold space for the things that are important. You just won't be obligated to or performative about it, and you can still enjoy your life. Okay, there's no shame in that. And I feel like this collective energy, and normally I have a good time, an easier time these days having a barrier of protection where I don't suck in everybody's energy when I do go anywhere. But just the collective, like the global energy, I felt like a weird shift recently, and I can just feel the noise. Like it's almost like a billion people crying in my veins. And and that sounds like dramatic, but that's how it feels. And I had to kind of be objective and go, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. I don't need to hold space all of the time if it's taking away from my own experience. And my own experience is sacred because it helps me expand, and it helps my family and all of these selfish, important things. So you don't have to be like disconnected. You can be a little bit delusional, okay, about your power. There's a fucking spectrum to delusion. Delusion can be great in small doses, brainwashing you into wealth, brainwashing you into confidence, brainwashing you back into health without it feeling like a big old miracle, you know. And then there's the part where people get so off base that they're just in hysteria. I think what they do in spiritual psychosis is they get stuck in a psychological loop, and because they're trying to expand, the loop gets faster and faster and faster. But there's like a hamster wheel on fucking coke, you know. It's like, think of a hamster, he's snorting a big old 8-ball and put his ass into a fucking hamster wheel. He's got nowhere to go, and he's just like, fuck man, I just ran across the world. It's like, no you didn't, you just ran in place. And it just it could have been across the world if you took your time and fucking realize that you're stuck in an illusion here. But nope, you had to do a big old bump. You ended up thinking that you're going somewhere, and you're just stuck here. And that's what's driving you even more crazy. So now you're trying to run away and escape from it. That's what happens with psychosis. That's how the energy looks. It's like this rapid freaking like loop, and they're just stuck in this cocaine hamster wheel. So we don't want to do that. So we unblock those blockages, and you're allowed to dictate how your magic works too, because it's energy. If you cleaning a drawer or cleaning your bathroom or throwing old clothes away too, throwing things away, like if that's hard for you and you have trauma, you're not going to contribute to anything worse going on this planet. You're honoring yourself. You're trying to be honorable. You can throw away things like, you know, old socks or old chonies, you know, underwears, things that you just don't wear. Donate it. Just get rid of it. And it might feel hard, like, oh, I really like this shirt, but I never wear it and I've had it for 10 years. Fucking keep one of those things and get rid of another one, you know, and it will create openings for you. And when you create those openings, those energetic openings, you're allowing more to come in that you actually want. want, and you're allowing expansion. You know, it's like you want to hold a whole gallon of energy into like a small cup, but that small cup's already full, you know, and it's like you have to let it flow. You have to let resources flow. You have to let energy flow. And I genuinely feel that if we just try slowly and being grounded and just being kind of level headed with spirit and with our physical life, I really fucking believe that people can get out of it, because it's nuts. I love Magick and I love my life, and my price that I pay is just my growth. And there's prices at time, but I don't have to take energy from other people. Take them from terrible people. I do that. Transmutate that. Curse these bitches that are ruining the world, and just take your cut. That's what I really recommend. Every corrupt person that you can think of, do your work and transmutate it, and you'll get something. You'll get an extra $700. You'll get something, and you'll see that. The thing is, it won't be about the $700, but you'll see that, and you're like, fuck yeah, that worked. And don't chase it. Like, don't be foaming at the mouth. Just be steady. Be steady with yourself, and you go, I'm going to do that again. My bare minimum is $700 a day. You know, because you know what it's like to have that. Or what you can do is, my bare minimum is an extra $100 a day, and you're already good for that week. You're going to continue to bank onto that. That's what I like to do. It absolutely works. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for hanging out with me. I got to actually leave. But thank you, and I just wanted to pop on here this evening and say that, because I am feeling people's despair. I'm feeling people that are very powerful feeling fucking guilty and ashamed for feeling afraid. You don't need to feel afraid, and you don't need to exhaust your energy on this. You need to worry and nourish yourself and eat more. I have been told by my demon very much so lately to eat more. I've been listening to him, and I've been eating more. So eat without guilt, all right? Eat something yummy. Go and get some good bread. If you can't bake, go and just do something a little extra, all right? Get yourself something a little extra and eat in the present, and try to do that a little more often, because that's going to help you start that process of resting without guilt. That's a grounding ritual, and it helps keep us steady, and it's very beneficial. My eating time is sacred most of the time, and I have days where I'm just eating whatever the kids didn't eat, and I have to keep going. But I try to make it a habit, and I really love to eat my food and be in the present. No phone, no distractions, just maybe, you know, in very good company with my spirits. But outside of that, it's helped me. It's become ritual. I enjoy things so much more without trying to sound annoying and edgy about it. But like, I like to eat sweet potatoes, and I just feel so good eating my yummy roasted sweet potato. Like, I look forward to it, and it's just this very small thing that I would have like not cared about before, other than like, oh yum, sweet potatoes. But now I'm like, I really love this little ritual that my demon and I have, and we just eat our yummy sweet potato, and it's like this very almost intimate sort of thing, and that helps with that energetic, that gratitude that helps attract more. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and you have a wonderful day, and just keep yourselves nourished, okay?